Hi friends, in our time together today, I'm introducing the jig Tripping Up the Stairs, which is a blast to play. This is a good jig for players of all ranges because one, you need to know it, and two, it provides us just a brilliant opportunity to learn to play better and to experiment with like a wide range of ornaments and expression. It's good fun. For our walkthrough today, I'm playing the Carry D. This is Carry Whistle's low D whistle. Phil Hardy at Carry Whistles provides a number of great low D whistles, but this is their entry-level low D. What Phil wanted to do was to provide a low D whistle that provided more bang for the buck than a lot of entry-level low D whistles, and they did a great job of that. So this, if people ask me, I'm looking for my first low D whistle, and I want one that I'm gonna like and love for a while, and I don't want to break the bank. I've got budget constraints, and this is either at the top of the list I'll recommend or really close to it. It's at least the whistle you should consider for your first low D whistle. Depending upon what you're after. Obviously, depending upon what you're after. Anyway, so I'm using that today. I'll walk us through the tune standing so you can see my hands. It has an A part and a B part. I'll play those just one time through each to introduce those, and I'll go pretty slowly there. And then I'll play in the Play Along with Scott section. We'll just walk through the tune at a steady pace. We'll talk about difficulties you might experience, ornamentation and expression ideas, and the history of the tune. Also, I'm providing a link at the top of the notes to this video so that you could access the page on my website from which to download the music and tabs if you use those, because I think that'll be really helpful if you use those. Use them as a tool to learn the tune, not as your crutch for this time forward playing the tune. So, here is the A part. Alrighty. And I tried to get a little bit of the jig rhythm in so that you'd get a feel for that. Go back and play that with me as many times as you need to. You know, if maybe you just need to watch it a couple of times. I've got chapters down the bottom, or hit the chapters, maybe they appear on the side depending upon what device you're using. And to jump back to that and watch it a few times. One quick note here. On the repeat, when you end it the first time, because I like the tune to feel like it flows well, I've crafted a setting that seems to be one of the more popular I found. But at the end of the first part, notice I left it there. There's a walk-in note that a lot of folks are going to use that I really like. When you're going back to do the repeat, back to the A part, I recommend walking down to the A. And when you're walking into the B part, go to the C natural. So that's a good transitional step, because going back to the A part, you're going down, and so it's nice to do that. Going to the B part, you're going up, so it's fun to do that. Here is the B part. already. So that's that. Now, play along with Scott's section. I'll play the whole tune with repeats. Alrighty. Now, from a difficulty standpoint, I think the biggest difficulty is to realize it's a jig. So you want to get into, so think about people dancing around the room, flowing. These are triplets, a couple of long shorts, and a long short is the longer note and then a short note. So it's a lot of so it's think about that jig rhythm that's important for you. There are no like crazy notes too high. F sharp's the highest thing you have to play. So that's why I say it's a great tune for people at all ranges of skill, and it's a great tune for you to learn as one of your first jigs. Now, thinking through ornamentation and expression. Well, before I say that, go to YouTube. I appreciate you're here with me. I want to help you learn the tune. I want us to help think through the tune. I'm providing a core of the tune because I want you to learn the core of the tune. But I also want you to go and listen to other people. Type into YouTube, tripping up the stairs, put a space and type whistle. And listen to a number of folks playing it. You'll hear slightly different renditions, and that's okay. And some of the reason for that is when someone takes the core of the tune, or maybe they've learned it from somebody else's ornamented version, but you know, a core of the tune like this has a bit of a life, and it gets transferred around with different expressions. So in some places, you're going to get where there's a triplet, you'll see a long note or a long short. And that's okay. When you're playing it sometimes, you might think, I'm going to leave that note out because it feels right to me. And that's perfectly okay for you to do. But it's like such a perfect jig because you've got a lot of repeated notes to practice, some cuts, some taps, or you could roll it. A lot of fun stuff. Or you could turn it into an even different long short, you know, with a double. You can make it pretty fast to play with that. Don't do the same thing with all the repeated notes. Mix it up. Add variety, because that variety is going to add a different feel. And make sure when you do that, that you're doing it for purpose. Although sometimes I let my fingers just decide. So another fun thing, some of the step ups. So that you could go, you could do that. So that, so hold the F sharp. Do that sort of a slide and a cut almost at the same time. Or you could do that step up, you could turn into a run. Don't ornament it so much that you lose the tune. The step ups, I think it's fun to add a run in, turn it into a run. And one of the things I've heard some folks do is to even like take some of the doubles and just sit on that, hit it. You could like, so as you're moving up to a couple of the F sharps, hit that with a bit of a slide. And then some of this goes for a nice hard tonguing, and then you could get to some other bits where you accentuate it by not any ornamentation at all, like that second bit of the B, transitioning to the second line of the B part. Okay, that, if you play that just gently without anything, it's going to make it stand out and highlight it. So mix all it up. I want you to experiment with it. Listen to some folks play around. I know I had a couple clumsy descriptions in there, but that's kind of where I am right now. I'm wanting about to mess around with it. I would like you to listen to folks. I'd like you to experiment. And like I said, in a couple of days, I'll share a practice session. Now, thinking through the history of the tune, we know the tune's old. We know it's traditional. Some folks say, well, so-and-so and so-and-so wrote it. And it's, well, unfortunately, I couldn't find any real attestations for that. So it's good to think, I know somebody did write it. I know it's really popular, and I know it's old. Unfortunately, that's all we really know for certain. If any of you, my friends, have some clarity like that could actually be verified on exactly when Tripping Up the Stairs popped on the scene, and it goes by a variety of other names, stick a note in the comments. I hope this has been helpful to you. As usual, I'd love for you to join our community where we have a great time together learning to play. We're focused on the low whistle. There aren't enough channels focused on the low whistle and of normal people. And that's what I want to be. I want to be that community where we help each other learn to play the low whistle better. And yeah, we're playing the high whistle as well, because that helps us play our low whistle. And we'll throw some other whistles in too. So please subscribe. Please add some comments on your thoughts and different ways you express and anything you know of the history of this tune. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a little like. That helps out, helps grow our community. Until next time, this is Scott Shade. Happy whistling, friends.